Our little dog is 6 years old and he's smart as any damn kid. But when you mention the VET, he damn near flips his lid. Words like SHOT shot or WORM worm. These are words that make him SQUIRM squirm. His QUARANTINE starts today, 'cause he bit the VET and then he ran away. He caused me and my wife to have a big fight, and then both of them bit me. And that's why I am gonna get a DIVORCE. Thank you. She shouted, "Get him, Rover!" And he jumped over and bit my LEG. She sank her teeth in my BUM and called me a Well, I'm telling you, that was my cue to get OFF ski.
We were never at
going down to the town tonight to get a new
secure our borders.
Oh yes, a QUARANTE.
Migrants ignored, pensioners ignored. White minority 2066.
Both my
End the
wife
plantation,
and my wee
mass deportation.
will soon be hauled away.
5G plus chemtrails equals increased morbidity.
All of these words.
Communists, then get ready to starve.
Can't hear. Oh, I must admit, that dog is acting
Pigeon.
QUER queer. Oh yes, I must admit.
Scooby-Doo says no milk cake.
Is acting
Operation Genocide continues. Remigration. No British blood for Ukraine war. Secure our borders. Free all political prisoners. Free James Costello. Stop the Labour cover-up. Protect our children. You take a leaflet? Yeah. Thank you, sir. Cheers. Would you like a leaflet, ma'am? Right, no worries. I noticed that you stopped at the radical banners. What one stuck out the most for you?
My mate, see the 5G and chemtrails one.
Yeah.
He's been talking to me
Thank
about
you.
that as well.
Right, okay. Aye. 5G and chemtrails equals increased morbidity.
Yeah, when I see him, I'll tell him to come here, because he's here in Glasgow somewhere.
Right, okay, no worries. Thank you. Send them up.
Well, see you later.
Thank you. Leaflet? No worries. I noticed that you're looking at the radical banners. What did you think about them?
Just quite interesting.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Afternoon. I noticed you're looking at radical banners. What one stuck out the most for you, sir?
I really enjoyed the communist one. Yeah, so.
Communists, get ready to starve. There you go, mate.
Thank you. Cheers.
You bet, man.
Honestly, no.
Message.
Going to cruise shop, you know there's big money going to be spent there now.
See you later. I just want to start a conversation.
I would have a conversation before closing. No, thank you. Before closing any borders.
Well, the thing is that we were never asked about this, Mrs. We were never consulted. My grandparents and parents were never asked about this immigration into our country. And by the time it's 2066 or sooner, most probably sooner, we're going to be a hated white minority in our own country. So what will diversity look like then?
Diverse.
But the thing is, we'll be a hated white minority.
Why would you be hated?
Well, the reason, well, we're getting passed over for jobs and houses and healthcare at the moment, so what's it going to be like when we're a minority?
What evidence is there?
Well, you only need to go to North Lanarkshire Council or Glasgow Council and you'll see that they've got separate housing lists for Ukrainians and immigrants. And you only need to see that pensioners are getting their heating allowance took off them, but the immigrants are just pushing their way into our country uninvited, are being put up in the best staff.
Well, asylum seekers do come uninvited because they're seeking asylum.
Well, the thing is, this is males in military age that's seeking asylum. Where's their wains? Where's their wives? If they're fake asylum seekers. They're fakeugees.
Well, they're hoping. Well, it depends.
They're fakeugees.
Everybody's different. Everybody's different.
So,
there may well be asylum seekers who come on their own, hoping to get established and find somewhere safe for their families to come to.
I don't think so. I think they're going to be used as a whip to get further undermine our working conditions in our country.
No, we're crying out for public servants. We're crying out for nurses and doctors.
That's not entirely true. What's happening is that white people are being put over for the nursing training and doctor training in the universities. It's not funny.
No.
It's absolutely not funny.
I would disagree with you on that.
Well, I think we'll agree to disagree then.
I know somebody who teaches nursing.
Oh, really?
I know how the numbers have been cut.
Yeah, well, it's all about bums and seats, isn't it?
It's about getting the students in to sit down, and the Indigenous students don't come. Scottish students are not. We need more students from other countries, and that was part of the Brexit problem, that it stopped migration.
Well, you may have a point, but people voted for Brexit because we wanted control over borders, and what's happened is we've got absolutely no control over borders, and it's increased immigration into our country. And I'm talking about legal as well as illegal. We need to stop it all so that we can have a conversation to decide where our country's going, because what's diversity going to look like when we're a hated racial minority?
Well,
Would you put a refugee up in your house?
Yes.
You know, most people usually say no to that, so you would.
Yeah.
You would, right? Well, that's
Why
what
not?
to do then.
Because it could be me any time. We are so fortunate.
So do you support the Russia war then? Do you support going to war with Russia?
I don't support going to war at all.
Ah, good.
I
Good
think we
idea.
should be civilised enough to kind of, we should be evolved enough to resolve differences without going to war and killing each other. That's really
Well,
imbecilic.
it is imbecilic, but you see, this is what happens when we've got the woke left that's leading our country to a war at the moment. They're absolutely leading our country to war.
Vote right, vote anyway. You have people going to war.
Well, we've been described as right, but we're just arguing that we're right so far.
Right politically or right on? Or
Right politically.
Right.
Right
correct.
politically. No, well, I think that's politically correct stuff's just a tool for stop freedom of speech.
That's interesting.
Yeah, being politically correct is just a tool for stop freedom of speech and for a cudgel debate.
Oh, it's really interesting. To me, politically correct, as it's called, is kind of good manners.
So see the interview that you've gave me, your face isn't on it, and it'll be on Scots Patriot on YouTube. So have a wee look.
No, I don't do these things really. You have to have my permission to do that, and I would.
No, it's because I'm in public. I video for my own safety. That's so. It's I don't put people's faces up, missus. So it's Scots Patriot on YouTube.
Okay. And I guess you think I'm English.
No, I know that you've got an Anglified accent, but that could be for many different reasons.
Thank you. Because quite often I've born and brought up in Scotland, lived all my life, I've never lived anywhere else. And quite often people turn me away because they think, oh, you're English. And I'm not.
So you're Scots?
Yes.
So in Scotland, by 2037, we'll be a minority, a white minority. What will diversity look? It's not fine.
What did you say by me?
It's not fine because you see, Scottish people should be encouraged to have children. There should be incentives put in place for Scottish people, for the Scottish nation, to continue.
And
because
women barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen and not working anymore.
I never said about being barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen.
No,
They should be paid and incentivised for having children.
It's a manner of speech. Well,
A lot of people get quite triggered with our banners because they're that radical.
I just think they're a bit off.
A bit off in terms of what? Well, your own core beliefs and values.
Well, it's different.
Yeah, they're different from your core beliefs and values, that's all. It's a challenge to your core beliefs and values.
That's fine, which is why I came over and why I'm happy to talk with you.
Thank you.
To find out more.
Well, that's why I'm offering you a leaflet. If you go into that website, you'll get more information there.
Pudsey.
Leaflet, sir.
Pudsey.
Who's Pudsey? Where does it say that? Oh yeah, yeah. That's in Leeds. That's where they publish it from.
So you're this is part of the sort of UK-wide right-wing movement.
Well, I would just say that we're a patriotic alternative. I wouldn't say that we were right-wing because our ranks are full of people with socialist outlooks.
So tell me about chemtrails.
Well, that's actually no my banner. So, but what I can say to you is that this 5G plus chemtrails equals increased morbidity. And I'll stick to that because if I say what it says in the banner, what happens when I put it up onto YouTube, I get a strike for it. Because there is no freedom of speech on social media. The social media, if you say certain things, you get a strike and you get the channel took off you. For example, Elon Musk's sex. You can't criticise Natan Nutjob of Israel on there. You can't say anything about what Israel's doing to the Palestinian people.
On what?
The way that they're bombing women and children.
Yeah, I know, it's horrific. But what are you saying that you can't say that?
You can't say it on YouTube, you can't say it on Facebook, you can't say it on Twitter, or formerly Twitter X.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't use that stuff.
Yes.
You can say it to each other.
I tend to kind of stay away from it because what happens is the next thing is that the police come down.
Police can be fine. I've been arrested by the police.
Have you? You're a criminal?
Yes, no.
Faz Lane?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember smuggling the anarchists in at Faz Lane. They sneaked onto my bus and ended up, I got a pull with the police for it because they were hiding on my bus when I went in.
Was that the black sector?
It was 1988 it happened.
Okay.
The Christies sneaked onto my bus and went into the Faz Lane base and said that they swam in.
Well, there you go.
Life's real. Well, thank you very much for stopping and having a look at Radical Banner magazine. End the plantation, mass deportation. Migrants adored, pensioners ignored. Secure our borders, we were never asked. We're calling for re-migration. We're saying that it's a two-tier justice system. And while you pay, the migrants stay.
They're welcome.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
They're welcome. I'm dilly-dallying around.
You're dilly-dallying, yes. A lot of people come to Glasgow to dilly-dally.
Wait, no, I'm a friend who lives here and we're going to see something together.
Well, enjoy wherever it is you're going, missus. And have a look at the leaflet.
And enjoy.
And keep an open mind. You must keep an open mind.
Have I shown you anything else?
No, you're pretty closed off where you're saying it's the opposite.
I can express opinion.
Yes, of course, but it's because it's the opposite opinion. Right, but I mean, you're welcome. I love it when people with the opposite point of view come up and speak to me. Because it's many people come up and assault me.
It's different.
It really is. It really is.
Yours,
These banners haven't been seen in Dissident Square here for 100 years. 100 years, missus.
These banners?
Yeah. The last time there was radical banners on this square, they sent tanks out onto the square to put it down. They actually sent tanks out.
I remember that.
Well, you know that, Earl. Come on. Come on, you know that, Earl.
I remember reading about it and writing about it.
Right, okay. When you were studying history back in the heady days when you were a uni student?
No, and I was reading a book a few months ago, actually.
All right, okay.
But, yes.
Aye, they sent troops onto the square for the Maryhill barracks. With the tanks that had just been invented for the First World War. This was the new item of warfare. Well, I have to stay on my toes. It was lovely speaking to you. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Wee leaflet? Video on new. So.
We were just, somebody was in Willow Rooms just said, why should we pay our taxes?
Yeah, well, we're encouraging people not to pay council tax and the state levies because...
Well, they'll put you in prison for that.
That's another issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Way of looking at it,
when they introduced council tax, they put people in prison for it.
Yes.
I mean, look at the VAT when we were younger.
Yes, yeah.
I know, it's not the...
In the 70s, it's 5%, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just went up.
it's not the council tax that's the problem. Back when they introduced the bedroom tax, which Labour was going to get rid of,
Yes.
they haven't mentioned, I have to pay 40%
That's just you again.
in rent.
All right, Taff, see you later, mate.
So, no, I think it's awful. I
Yes,
have to pay
ma'am.
rent.
All got issues with it, haven't
And so you on holiday in Glasgow?
Yeah.
we? Yeah, we still go.
Well, we're not on holiday.
I mean, when Blair took over back in the day, he took out, he had a mortgage, he took off the bloody virus, so you had to pay tax on your mortgage. So overnight, I could pay another £80 a month towards the mortgage. That's a lot of cash.
Blair's a war criminal and all, isn't he?
Yeah, just
He's another war criminal. Can I give you a leaflet, sir?
No,
Nah, no worries, mate.
we don't want to.
we got
Okay.
we've all got our own views, haven't we? And
Yeah, mate, we really do. We really do. So what you're looking at today is the Radical Banner magazine. And we're here every Saturday from 12:30, 1 o'clock to 2:30. Now at 2:30 we take the banners down, go home, you have coffee. And what we do is we take pictures and we interview people.
yeah,
We get their opinion, we don't put faces up, and you get it on YouTube on Scott's Patriot, or William Wallace 2, or Legal Occupier. Yeah, that's all up on YouTube. So
you go back to Roman times, a lot of it, they weren't all English, were they? A lot of them were coloured.
that's all lies, mate. The Romans were white people. The Romans were white people. They're trying to tell us that it was Africans, but if it was Africans, then where's the that's what they're trying to tell us. They're trying to tell us that who is it? The cheeseman was African and all that, and there was Africans that built
This is
Stonegate.
nonsense then.
Anyway, nice chat to you.
Nice meeting you, mate. Enjoy your stay in Scotland.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Scotland for the Scots,
Yeah, in England for the
and England for the English,
That's another issue.
and Wales for the Welsh. Thank you.